Dude,
What is up?
What is going on right now?
Where are we?
Like, what is going on right now?
Welcome back to Corny Dads Podcast. I feel like pronouncing things better because I'm so close to this nice microphone.
I am on an endorphin high right now. like seriously, like I was in such a bad mood today, and like was even full 100% secret time, Bert Kreischer. I was a few moments like away from just like looking at you and being like, I don't think we can do this today. Like I'm just not in the right headspace.
Rally
like,
time.
Multiple times, like was about to have it come out of my mouth and was just like power through.
And now
dude,
we're
like
here.
right now, like
There we go.
like what is going on right now?
You know what's going on?
What is going on?
We're
right
filming episode 11 in a nice studio with
Gather.
microphones, cleanliness, not carpet, not product everywhere.
I'm very aware of how I look right now because like all of a sudden we don't have like the guise of a shitty camera setup. Hey, wait, no, I'm sorry. Not a shitty camera setup. The best camera setup that could be done with what we have available.
Dang
Because
right.
Morbid Mama crushes it.
For real.
Crushes it with what we have available. So I do not
Yeah.
want to cheapen what we have done for the past 10 episodes at all in her work because she has done awesome.
Inseparable from the success of Corny Dads Podcast is Morbid Mama helping us out. Anyway, we're back here, episode 11, guys. We're here in this fancy studio, and got my boy Nick. I want to give a big shout out to @TimTalks, Realtor Tim Kalin. He's the guy who kind of set this all up and introduced me to Ethan, who is AKA Swihart Media. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And he's a videographer and overall badass who helped get us set up and allowed us to use his space to record a podcast. It's pretty crazy. Doesn't this feel official?
Dude, I'm having a hard time just keeping it together.
We're going to dive right into it. So before we turned everything on, I was telling Nick how I watched the Chad Muska Epically Later.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you who aren't familiar, it's like a short documentary series, short being like 30 minutes or something, that chronicles the lives of, I think, exclusively former pro skaters, right? It's pretty much the guys of it. Right?
They did a recent one on Spike Jonze. I mean, so you could,
Okay.
I mean,
So
not
close
technically a pro skater, but like, I mean, he started off as a pro skater videographer. You know, like that's how.
Industry guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely started. I mean, he's a rad skater too.
Yeah.
That one was fucking amazing as well.
That's a rabbit hole we can go down, just skating in general. But this Chad Muska one was really eye-opening because he detailed his life and like the Hollywood life. You know, like how Hollywood Chad Muska got? He like hung out with Paris Hilton.
Oh, yes.
So I
yes.
didn't
Sorry,
really-
that took me a second. Yeah.
I didn't really pick up on that when I was in the moment being like, I don't know, a teenager or late teenager, whenever it was that he was popping. I was just kind of like, yeah, like he's one of the really popular people.
I feel like he had a couple ads that were like he had like I want to say like Paris Hilton was in one of his like skate ads.
That would
Like
be
she was
epic.
in one of the pictures. I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
That would be epic.
But no, the only reason why I feel like I knew a bit about that, or at least that was like, oh yeah, like he ran with a Hollywood circle, was because a couple of his ads really kind of leaned into that, like back in the day.
You think it's Supra or we? See, I'm a little unclear what brands all were. I'm in my head. I got Circa and Supra. He was more Supra, right? Or was he both? I'm like off my skate brand knowledge.
Why am I thinking Osiris? Because didn't he have the big moon boots?
So he absolutely had the big moon boots, but Osiris is most famous for their chunky D3, which is like the oversized round toe. To me, looks like a classic DC shoe, but more cushiony. You know?
Yeah, and I thought that Muska.
Muska's
that
famous
was
for the
Muska's
Supras.
shoes.
The Supras, the high top Supras, the sky tops. I know this because I watched the Epically Later that I'm referencing. He got famous for the sky tops. Was the one that like really put him on. And apparently Kanye wore the sky tops. Can you imagine designing a shoe and Kanye wears it? And you're like, well, I'm good forever. Like, never need.
Well, who knows? Kanye's doing a pretty wild character arc right now. So,
Tell me what you know about that, because I've seen what I end up seeing is trickle down on my explore page of like third, fourth, fifth person removed. So sometimes I get really bad information and think that I know what's going on in the world when I have like just a tidbit from like 5 sources removed. So I kind of like don't know at all what's going on.
Like you're hitting on exactly my knowledge base as well.
Yeah.
You know, as far as that goes, like I haven't done any sort of like actual deep dives on what's going on. I've just seen like he's been saying some wild shit about Jews and like he's buying Parler, the like super like the free speech right wing like Trump's social media network thing. Yeah, he's buying it from Candace Owens' husband.
Who's that?
The woman that pretty much got Kanye to be real crazy recently, like wearing White Lives Matter like shirts and stuff.
Kanye's wearing White Lives Matter shirts?
With this woman, Candace Owens, and then like 2 weeks later, come to find out she's convinced him to buy Parler, which is a super like failing media thing. And it's her husband's project.
Who bought it from Trump probably? Because didn't Trump start one of those
Something
things?
like that. See, this is where I'm like, I don't fucking know.
You're not active on Donald Trump's social media page?
I know, man. I'm surprised.
Come on, man.
You know, who knows?
I want to say it's not Parler because I feel like there's got to be. I've like heard that, and I've heard the Trump one. And I don't know. I don't think it's the same exact one. What probably is that Trump uses it, and it's probably just like probably like is the same. But I know that Trump had his own like. I want to say it's like branded app.
Yeah. I remember.
Maybe
like,
it wasn't like
it was like some sort of like free speech.
Yeah, I don't think it was like the Trump
Say whatever
app.
you want.
Hey, if you're a big Trump guy, weigh in.
Let us know.
Put us up on
Let us know,
game
because we have no idea.
Let us know.
we have no idea.
Yeah,
that is one of the things about the Corny Dad podcast that we talk about behind the scenes is that we are not political at all. We want to even right now, like we're really trying to dance around like the subject whatsoever because like.
This is like two
we
people,
talk about glass and dumb shit.
Yeah, this is like 2 people in a dark room, like trying to find each other when there's no lights on. We're like, what the fuck? like we're just like fumbling around, trying to like maybe, you know. Anyway, back to Muska.
Yeah,
he is kind of reminiscent of a Kanye style of person, though. Whenever you go crazy and you kind of pop off, it's a little bit like Kanye.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah, but he got super famous for the shoe. And I think more than anything, his personality type, he embraced Hollywood. He was like, well, being a celebrity is cool. So he like got really into celebrity culture and seems like started partying a lot and running in celebrity circles where like chaos ensues, which it's unfamiliar. But, you know, I guess they all get together with bunches of money and do wild and crazy things.
It makes sense.
Because then like 5 or 10 years down the line, there's videos of Muska like super drunk in public, calling security guards haters. He's getting,
just
like
wilding out.
Because he's getting bounced from a strip mall.
Oh,
he's like, you guys are just haters. So then fast forward 5 or 10 more years, this documentary takes place when he's like really calm, like eerily calmed down.
Yeah.
Like clean haircut, clean fit, clean everything. And he's at a mansion in LA, of course, and he's making eggs for his 5 pugs for their lunch. That's what he's doing now. That's where Chad Muska's at. This giant flex. He's got pugs that he's had for like 15 years.
Has he, I mean, do they delve into his financial situation? Like how smart he was with his money throughout this whole time? Or
I wish. That would be more of interest to me. It seems like, I don't know, you could get a little bit of the vibe, but it actually sort of was relevant because I was talking about like my story with Tim Talks and made me think of all of that because given his success blowing up way past mine, there certainly is like a bunch of back end and weird issues. Like there has to be a bunch of challenges being like a young person who makes a shoe and gets super famous and rich. Like,
dude, I mean, at that point, you're not. I think a lot of people think that, you just have a bank account and, you have money comes into your bank account for like a paycheck. And like at that level and like this type of stuff that he's doing, it's like he's not getting a fucking paycheck each month that gets put into his fucking Chase account.
Yeah.
Like there are so many different accounts that he's
Yeah.
dealing with. There
Yeah.
are
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest things that's blown. So my wife works in like construction. She like works with a construction agency. She has her own construction business. Thing that blew my mind is like, you know, you have like, say an electrician or whatever goes out and gets bid to do a job. And, you know, he's like, okay, this job is going to cost you $80K.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could wait months, sometimes years to get that $80K from the company that hired him or paid him out as a private contractor. Yeah.
Years as a private contractor? What?
Like
that's
what I'm saying. Like
What's
you
the
have
fee?
you have these like just really shady companies that's how they operate, is like they either, you know, don't sign a contract and just start work, or like they start work, sign a contract, and then just keep saying like, oh, the check's coming.
Yeah.
You know, whenever it's not just like your boss paying you, you know, an hourly wage that you know, have a law that you're paid at a certain time each month, you know, it's like shit can get real shady and weird.
Yeah. Well, and the more successful your business is, the more you can throw your weight around, which tons of people do. And it's sort of an unfortunate necessity in like the awakening of people doing good business is like, there's going to be people like that along the way who are just like looking for ways where they can do shitty things. So like I could see someone like the higher up those companies get, they're going to dedicate legal teams to finding ways to make the company's life better, not the contractor's life. So they're going to be like, what kind of words can we put in the contract to save our ass no matter what? And
Or just fucking breach the contract.
yeah,
Like, don't give a fuck, because then it's like,
do?
Yeah. Are you going to sue me? Do you have a fucking lawyer?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like, are you going to take the time to go through all this bullshit?
Yeah.
Or can I just say, okay, instead of $80K, I'm going to give you 50.
Yeah.
Or do you want to fucking drag this out? Or you just want to take the 50 and fuck off?
Oof. Yeah.
Like, you would be surprised how much that happens on a regular basis with just everyday normal contracts and businesses.
Yeah.
Like just on that scale, on like whenever you're talking that amount of money, whenever you're talking about these big giant contracts, it's almost like, I mean, let's relate it to the glass industry.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like someone, you know, commissioning a shop commissioning a big order from you, saying, I'll pay you half up front, half whenever everything comes in. You do all the work, you ship it off to them. You know, what really is stopping them from, besides like their reputation and obviously just being upstanding people, just, you know, constantly kind of going, oh, we don't have the money. Oh, your stuff hasn't sold yet. Oh, you know, that wasn't what we talked about. Oh, that isn't the deal. Da, 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 da.
Right. I think what stops people is that operating a business in that mind state just has a short lifespan.
Yeah, exactly.
If you treat that, it's like one thing I've heard is kind of an out there statement, but like how you do anything is how you do everything. So like those isolated incidents of you like fucking someone over or doing the shady thing, like it might feel like you can just separate that from your life and just sort of, well, I'll just do an oopsie here. But that bleeds in and it makes you live your whole life in this sort of half shitty way.
Yeah.
So that's like why people sustain that for so long.
Dude, and then you start just assuming that's how everyone lives their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how you just start dealing with everyone.
Yeah. But yeah, even like my limited experience, I can only imagine how infuriating like big business gets, because I've gotten a taste of small business, like the order that went wrong for me. I'm like, oh my God, dude, it was such a headache. And I took it so personally that like, man.
Dude, and imagine taking that situation and adding 4 zeros to the end of every number.
Mad stressful.
Right?
Oh my God.
Because I mean, and that's, so like, again, I'm just relating it to like construction businesses, like a small job for like the company my wife works for. And they do insurance claims. Like it's like you have a fucking pipe burst in your house, you have, you know, something go wrong, or all the way up to like building like multiple apartment buildings, like that sort of thing, like big contracts. Like a small contract for them is going to be in the like $5,000 to $10,000 range. A big contract is in the like $10 million range, like
$5 to $10 million.
$5 to $10 million range. So like, yeah, you can throw fucking four zeros on the end of the numbers that you were talking about, and that is like I remember looking at Jen and going. So like right now, how many jobs does your company have going? Like how many are they currently like working on? Like hiring private contractors, like they have going right now, aren't closed out.
Yeah.
So they're like anywhere between 50 and 70.
50 and 70 current jobs.
Jobs just open and running.
Unfinished.
Yeah.
In progress.
In progress.
Damn.
Sending out which crews to what jobs and seeing what's available, like because then you have like materials aren't available for one job, so that one job's just sitting. So you don't want to waste time, so you go on to the next one. And I mean, it's a big company. There's like they have a bunch of people working for them, so.
It seems like what we're seeing is like a receding of the workforce into more information jobs. Like, I mean, that sounds so general and basic and like obvious, but this is a good example of it. Like in real time, you see like how necessary it is to have the information in place for such a thing to happen, for 50 to 70 jobs to happen. It can't be understated like how much of that is logistics, back end, communication, words, numbers, ideas, contracts. I mean, what do you think? It seems like got to be over 80% of the work is the logistics setup, just for the pipe layer to go up and
go out and actually like physically lay that pipe.
And he does it good, man. John, shout out to John, pipe layer.
I would say, I mean, obviously I'm pulling this out my ass, but like, I'd say like,
pull it out
60-40 or even 50-50 as far as, cause like, you got to think like a fire happens in a home, which like, she's dealing with, and it takes out, part of a bathroom and a bedroom and like destroys a bunch of, clothing as well, or like a bunch of like items as well as, like walls and structural stuff. So like, it's not just going in there and building a wall. It's going in there, finding out where it's damaged to, like where the good stuff is, how you even do that, like how you even like figure that out. And then going in there and doing that work itself is like crazy.
It's trippy.
So and like, that's just one job, but like,
oh my God.
I mean, to kind of round it out and bring us back to, full circle, like whenever you're dealing with money on that big of a level, or like something like Chad Muska, where like has like different sponsorships, he's doing different ad deals, he's doing like board sales and shoe sales and all that stuff. Like you can't sit there and think like, oh, it's just money going into a bank account, so he should know how much he has. It's all over the place, man. There's so many ins and outs, and like to sit there and go like, how much money do I have is.
There's like some distinct differences though, like being a person who spearheads the value of your like personal brand. If your brand is like, let's say a Kim K or a Chad Muska, who like the person is absolutely like the brand. Yeah. There becomes an X factor where like once you reach like a critical mass of like being so important and so valuable in your own self, it seems from the outside, from someone who's not like in there, it seems like at a certain point forces transpire and like the best decision for everyone around you is to help you because of so much money involved. So like when you're getting there, you're absolutely right. It's going to be a mess. And you're not going to have anyone to like, know what to do with, or like, you have to pick people to help you with your taxes and help you with accounting and all that. But I do think you can hit a critical mass with your personal influence where like everyone around you is like, shit, we're going to make more money if we help Chad figure out his shoe deal. Like, let's help him figure this out because we will literally benefit from it. Yeah. Like people like Kim K are going to have a team of 50 people trying to figure out the timing and logistics of everything. So like it could be like really weird up until a point, but then once you reach that Kim K level, I swear they're gonna like want strongly for you to succeed because their personal success matters so much off of it. They're gonna be like, shit, we need to keep this in check. Like, let's go. But until then, you're left on your own, and that's the plague of being a micro influencer. Is that you have to do everything yourself to still be valued as an influencer who has credit and like credibility. But nope, you still do everything yourself because you're not famous enough.
Right.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So yeah, he was just like living a chill life now. Seems like he was taking care of his dogs and just like being really calm. It was really weird.
Is he
Kind of weird.
is he is he active in anything?
He seems like the creative type to like really have some waves come and hit, because he's talked about, he seems kind of like I can relate a little bit, because he'll just go hard on something for a while and then completely not do it and go hard on something else. So
Dope.
like he had the sort of dynamic of him being a DJ and an artist and a skateboarder. Or really, I think you could separate it in like skateboarding, DJing, and fashion. Probably Muska's 3 big things.
Yeah.
So he would kind of cycle between which took the forefront and like go hard on one of those for a while and then pull back. So like now, like I don't remember what he's doing right now, but I think he's like barely skating and doing more art. He was doing concrete art.
Dope.
Which isn't that an LA kind of thing?
Right.
If you watch this, it's like, dude, you literally are LA.
It's
Like you're dressed in minimalist, expensive clothes that look like they're made of fine materials, like that look expensive and weird cuts.
lots of linen.
Yeah, lots of like I don't even fucking know what linen is. Yeah, like lots of linen, velvet and shit. And then like his house is just like, it's honestly what I like. I love modern architecture and like minimalism and like gray and concrete and big open spaces.
You can tell your art's really minimalist.
Yeah, I know. Right? No, you know why I like that? Is so I can blow it out. I love minimal canvases so I can just blow it out.
It. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I want everything as simple as possible so I can just like puke on it. Yeah. No, he had like dope minimal life, like LA looking, I don't know, garage and driveway and everything. It was pretty funny.
Dope.
And then, yeah, doing concrete art in his garage was pretty interesting. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be exactly what you're picturing. It's like a canvas, but it's concrete. It's like, damn, dude, for sure.
Okay.
Like that's wild. That's like
so
some
you have
LA
to mix
shit.
the concrete specific ways so it doesn't
Right.
bubble,
He
and like
he had the little scraper and he was like scraping it.
you could find the line there. Okay, so skater.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
like as a skater, you get very intricate on what type of cement you're riding on.
Yeah, for sure.
So like I could easily see the line from that to artist in concrete art.
And then he was making concrete casts of his shoes, which is actually really cool.
That's pretty dope.
I don't know how he's doing it. Probably making a plaster mold or something and then doing that. But it's like he's like holding up concrete versions of his shoes, and I'm like, dude, that's so LA. That's insane. But like dope.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever you say.
It's weird to see like young, wild people like age, like the Jackass people.
Dude.
It's like, what are you doing, bro?
That's it, dude. But like a very real thing is that like the first wave of professional skaters that made it to celebrity status. That made it like Tony Hawk, Bob Burnquist, Chad Muska.
Yeah.
And you could really go on and like these guys, because you have your original, if you go back to like Dogtown and Z-Boys days, and those guys have definitely all aged out. But I wouldn't say that they hit the same celebrity status as like the more recent guys.
Whoa, tie-in. What if we're experiencing a similar boom and bust in the glass industry? Boom and bust isn't really the right terminology, but the same sort of meteoric rise of like my generation being the one to hit the higher marks. What if that's about to happen?
Oh, it's definitely, you could easily see parallels between the two. Yes.
Yeah. Because then some of the people like the Dogtown and Z-Boys, like the old school people like Snodgrass, Pedro, Ezra. There's some real OG names that hold a lot of weight for a lot of people, but I couldn't ever see reaching a celebrity status just because they're not active anymore, and it's just a different world.
Well, their time in the industry was a completely different. Completely different. I mean, literally their shit was illegal.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say the same thing about skateboarding. Back in the day, it was a toy. It was seen as just some stupid thing. And then whenever that group, I love it. I'm in front of a camera and now I can't remember a single fucking name of those guys. I'm an idiot. Like I know Jay Adams, but like Jay Adams and the guy Tony Alva, the guys around them, like they hit it big, but it was still like seen as a fad or as a kind of weird thing. So like you could say the same thing about glass whenever like Snodgrass or like was it James Baker? Oh, fuck.
Jerome Baker.
Jerome, thank you.
JBD.
Yes.
Come on, man.
So, I mean, you could say the same thing about those guys. Like, you know, they hit a certain high point, but because it was still illegal, because it was still very niche, you know, but now, I mean, you have kids that started blowing glass. Like, you talk to fucking Bowser. Yeah. And, like, there has never been a stigma around blowing glass or being an artist at all.
No.
So really, like, I think you're seeing right now that first, you know, that first generation that is growing up without it being a weird thing, but being it like, oh, I can look up to an artist who is crushing and emulate what they're doing. Yeah.
In a legal way, which is crazy and totally new and can bring new heights to the whole thing.
Legal and encouraged.
Yeah.
You know, I think because that's a parallel you can call with skateboarding is like now you have fucking parents like putting their kids in skateboard camps.
Whoa.
And like, you know, it's an encouraged thing to go skating. Dude, I remember my mom taking my skateboard from me because like I was getting hurt and I wasn't able to play basketball.
Yeah. Yeah. What a change. And then we see Bowser's dad is the one who encouraged him to get a job too. So that's like,
get a job in glass.
That
right?
change happening in real time.
Dude, coming from athletics, like it's a very different thing whenever you have the support of the family from a very young age. Yeah. Like, you know, you reach a different level whenever it's something you've been doing your whole life and it's a healthy thing that you love and your parents encourage. Yeah. It's completely different.
I had a confusing dynamic of being encouraged and forced though. So let's touch
those are
on
two.
that.
I think those are two different things too. Encouraged and forced are like you see that so hard,
and it seems like they can often be misinterpreted because
Big
that's
time.
my experience. Is like everyone around me says how encouraging my parents are when really they were frustratingly forcing me to do things I didn't want to, like consistently. So it's like it's hard to be a kid in that position and like be told you have the support and always like hear that, but then feel different. Like that shit, it's wild.
I think the big difference is just listening to the kid. Yeah. That is the biggest difference. Like you have parents who like, dude, I had a dad email me and be like, you know, my daughter's not into she doesn't want to do meets anymore. I don't understand why. She was super excited and encouraged at the end of last season, and she almost got her state time. Yeah. So over the month off, we went to the pool every single day, and we swam 25's butterfly until she could do the state time. Now she can do the state time, but she doesn't want to do meets. I don't understand.
It's like, well...
It's like reading that. I was like, dude, just read it.
Yeah, just
read
it. Yeah,
read back what you just wrote. Yeah. Trust me, you'll see that. You'll be able to understand. Oh my God. Yeah. Like it's pretty plain and obvious right there. Oh my God, and like the girl is the only swimmer in my squad who can't touch her heel to her butt because she is so tight in her hips. Okay. Because she has been doing butterfly fucking months, back and forth, sprint, not stretching, not having like a holistic coaching mindset around it, but having an encouraging parent mindset.
Yeah. It's dangerous to give credit to parents who do that, but it's also really deceiving because when you're removed from the situation, you almost have no choice but to be like, yeah, good job. Like if you don't know them, because those type of people usually let very little influence in too. So there's like very little option for you to be like, hey, I think so-and-so's feeling something. It's usually not even an option because they're set in their ways. They know what's good and they know what they're doing. Yeah. But yeah, it's completely different. Yeah, support versus forcing can make or break for sure.
I mean, because the caveat comes in on like no teenager wants to wake up and go to practice. Yeah. So like at one point, are you just like if your kid wakes up every day saying he doesn't want to go, then you don't make him go. Then at what point are you like not being supportive? You know, at one point are you not like that you're just letting your child like take the easy way out and like, you know, never face adversity.
God, yeah. Being a parent, God, it must be so hard to get in that situation and like really find the right answer. It must be so hard.
And man, you know, we've talked about it so many times, how like if you can make the explanation easy, then you have a really good understanding of it.
Yeah.
And that's where I say the answer is just listen to your kid.
Yeah.
Like really listen to your kid. You're going to know whenever they're going, I don't want to go because they're just kind of being a butthead and don't want to go.
Yeah.
And you're also, if you really listen to your kid, you're going to know whenever they like, okay, it's been 4 days in a row. They've complained every single morning about it. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
They're looking worse. They're acting out at school. And then it's like, let's take a couple days off, man. Sleep in. But understand that, like, you're getting rest, but like we need to get back to it after. After we get our rest.
Yeah. You got to encourage your kids to have something to spearhead their life and like be the driving force, because that is important. But it's got to be tailor-made to each individual. It's got to be like what they want to do. Listening
to Bowser talk about his dad and his mom and like the relationship he had with them, like I'm sitting there going like, they nailed it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, they nailed it. Because it's like, okay, yeah, you know, they encouraged, they supported like the stuff that he was into. Like, they didn't support drug use at a young age, which like, you know, like obviously, no, you don't want to do that. But then when they saw him getting off track and like really going down a bad area, they listened to him, found out what his interests were, and then encouraged that interest.
Yeah, and they're flexible about it.
Yeah. And like you can see he's still like still figuring it out, still finding it, like as far as like the big life scheme, figuring out like we all are.
Yeah.
But like, dude, in such a cool, healthy way.
Yeah.
Such a cool, healthy way.
Yeah.
Dude, a young guy getting chosen to go off to like Corning.
Yeah.
You know, and learn that and like actively putting himself out there to go in those situations.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. Speaking about like cool, healthy ways of doing it, I met up with my friend who I haven't seen in 5 years named Leo, and he owns a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, like out on 185th near Rock Creek. So
dope.
Kind of out near THPRD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super dope. He is like such an entrepreneur, and he's been doing it for 15 years since he was like 15. So he's like my age now. So he's just been ripping and got through like so many issues, and it was super eye-opening for me to like hear from him some of the issues he's faced as a young, I believe, first time, or I don't know how you would say it, if his parents were fully from a different country and then he was born in a different country but then is here now.
So if he was born in a different country and moved here, he's first generation. Yeah. I believe that's the situation, but he is the biggest savage, dude. So he like good for him.
Killed it in school. So I went to middle school with him, and he was always like funny, cool, and really, really good at school. Went on from there to study chemistry. It's just massive brain type of guy. While he was studying chemistry, took an integral role in the family restaurant while they were like opening this like baller Mexican restaurant that's like not fast service. It's like sit down ambiance type, like candle light, almost like, you know, really built out, crazy, super good food all the time. So he's been doing that while like going to school for chemistry stuff. He used his chemistry knowledge to create like a deadly hot sauce, I don't know a lot about hot sauce, but he created it in some way that makes it kind of unique. You know, like there's all kind of innovation and stuff, but he like used some of his chemistry knowledge to make this gnarly hot sauce. And then they made a challenge burrito for the restaurant. They're like, you know,
genius.
Come here, challenge, and you can like,
dude, those are saying so big.
Win a shirt. And now I'm feeling like a poser, dude. I got the burrito tattooed on me because he was coming up like around when I was coming up with the pins and stuff. And he lived close to me, and we would like hang out. I would always go get food there and like talk about business and stuff.
So that's where the burrito came from.
Yeah. So I made a pin about the burrito because Travel Channel came to his restaurant and like put it on there.
No shit.
I want to say Man vs. Food did, but I think why I'm having trouble remembering it is because I think of Man vs. Food as Adam Richman. You know that guy?
Yeah.
You familiar? Yeah.
Oh, am I familiar? Jen and I made an entire road trip across the country following Man vs. Food restaurants.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God.
We hit 4 different restaurants that he hit
me?
Driving across the country whenever we moved from Pittsburgh to fucking Portland. Yes, I know what Man vs. Food is.
Corny dad moment, guys.
Dude,
Oh
right?
my God.
Right?
Amazing.
Yeah, we went to the Cricket in Denver, the one with the where you throw the dart at the board to figure out what toppings you're gonna get.
Amazing.
We went to a barbecue place in I think Kansas City or St. Louis, one of those two that he went to and ate at.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then two other ones. I forget what the other ones were.
Isn't he just the greatest guy?
Like Adam Richman himself is amazing.
Dude, you're like Adam Richman. You need to meet him.
Dude, he's fucking awesome. I love listening to him.
Yeah.
Like, he's done the Hot Ones, and he was like, he was fanboying out the whole time. It was more like he was a fan to be on the show than like he's interviewing, like Sean's interviewing him, and he's just like, yeah. But I remember this one episode that you guys did.
It's like going super meta.
Yeah,
on Hot Ones.
Fucking greatest. Anyways,
amazing. Sorry. Yeah. So, but key thing is, I don't think it was him. I think it was the next generation.
Oh yeah, dude, we completely stayed. Jen and I watched every episode with Adam Richman, but like as soon as he stopped, we're like, okay, show's trash.
I know. I'm sorry, Leo. I didn't watch that episode because I haven't it's not my favorite host. I need to go back and check it out though, because Travel Channel came to his restaurant. Like a friend that I went to middle school with has a successful restaurant where it's probably about 7, 8, even 10 years ago now that he had that happen. But since then, he's just like boss moded it and kept his restaurant going through a lot of trials and tribulations. Like some that I will keep private because they're crazy stories that don't need to be public. But like the issues that confront someone running a restaurant, like a family owned restaurant.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Restaurant.
Don't want to do that.
Restaurant industry is gnarly.
Oh my God.
Dude, first of all, your margins are this. Like restaurant industry, like your margins are nothing.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And like your employees, the restaurant industry employees.
Yeah. He told me.
I grew up in the restaurant industry. If I could know all about it.
Yeah.
So nothing but respect to everyone down the chain from chef to waitress, waiter to dishwasher. Like the restaurant industry is gnarly, but it's like you're not getting a bunch of like super motivated college educated people trying to make like a career in the industry as a dishwasher. You're getting someone who's trying to work part time and just get a paycheck to do their shit.
Right. He dropped an amazing fact on me about female servers, which is controversial, but I'll just relay it because it's funny. Once a female server gets a boyfriend, apparently she's just never gone.
No shit.
So, that's what he said. The story is like whenever you have this employee is super dope. She kills it. She's in here every night. Then when they get together with someone, it's usually like just chaos because for some reason it just like doesn't
make
work.
sense.
But so let's just deep dive all the hats he wears, bro. So his parents are, immigrants as well, but non-native speaking in a whole different level. Like his parents barely speak English. His mom will, like when she sees me, she'll say like, "Hi, Ben," but have like very sort of small conversations. Dad doesn't speak English at all. I've never heard anything other than like, I don't even think he said hi.
I'm sorry, but I love the balls to just be like, yeah, I don't need to.
I know, right?
Come on. Growing up, we had a family that was Colombian, moved here straight from Colombia. Yeah. And I think all the kids were born here, but parents were born in Colombia. Yeah. Dude, the mom still can't understand her to this day.
It's so
we're just like, all right, stick to your guns. If you don't feel the need to, then don't do it. It's your life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like a life hack.
Yeah.
Like, a phone call from the IRS. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know what words you're saying.
Dude, solicitor, any sort of random solicitor when you're walking through a mall or whatever. You're like, nabla.
Yeah. Yeah. But so his parents play an integral role in the business. They're mostly doing the cooking, which is like super high level, fire, clean, current dishes. Like, fully on rotation constantly with new innovation of flavors, whatever. Dude, just absolutely crushing it.
Like real Mexican food, not American Mexican dining. Yeah. Like where everything is a tortilla, beans, and meat.
Yeah. Like I stopped at Muchas Gracias this morning and I was like, I'm like doing such a, I don't know. It's like this is just embarrassing. Like, what am I doing?
Dude, fire. Like still delicious, still amazing, but it's like, it's like calling for like spaghetti and pasta with meat sauce Italian. Like,
right, exactly. Yeah. But so I want to give you an idea of the amount of hats that this man Leo wears in this business. It was really eye-opening to me because I've often been known to complain about different responsibilities I have and different struggles I have, and I'll bring them up because I think that my problems are hard. And this meeting with him was just like, nope, your problems aren't anything.
Nothing. I'm your employee.
Yeah.
It's your problem, bro.
Yeah. So it was just absolutely mind-blowing. And I'm like, oh my God, he's the same age as me. You know, we went to middle school together. We were close back then, distanced for many years, but like, oh my God. So so his parents don't speak English. So he runs everything, dude, like back end. I can only assume he probably does the ordering and purchasing. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe there's probably a lot of Spanish speaking people who can get the back end for food supply and stuff. So let's say maybe he does that. I have a feeling he probably does like ordering all the things just because he's the boss.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a kitchen manager title that, would do that. But like if you're running a family business, like you're the kitchen manager.
So he hires everyone too. So he employs the store. He's got one of his younger brothers works there. But other than that, they have definitely rotated through like dozens of servers and other people helping.
Do you know like how many they normally have on staff at a time?
Not a ton, probably 5 to 6 of like extra people, if that. They run a pretty tight ship.
That's still, I mean, like they're like, 1 to 2 employees. You have a lot of businesses like that. Like you have a lot of small businesses with like 1 to 2 employees that come in part-time and do some shit. Yeah. It is a different business whenever you have like 6 to 10 part-time employees and 2 full-time employees, 3 times. That is you deal with payroll for yourself. And remember how confusing and like annoying that is for
so
just you.
It's so confusing and so stressful for me. And like, dude, what?
So let's just put this out there real quick. And I'm throwing ballpark numbers out there. This is no true numbers to what Ben is dealing with. I'm throwing ballpark numbers out there just to give you guys reference. In order for a small business person to pay themselves, they have to pay taxes. Simple as that. So like for your small business to have like, let's say your small business makes $100,000 in a year. Mm-hmm. If you want to touch that to pay for anything personal, if you want to buy yourself a t-shirt, if you want to buy food to put in your stomach for the day and your family, if you want to pay rent on a home, you have to pay yourself. You can't just take that money out of the business and spend it on yourself because that's not for the business. That's illegal.
Yeah, not in a sustainable way. There's all kinds of things.
I mean, I'm sorry. You can definitely do this shit. I'm just saying. Well, no, so legally.
That's part of the challenge is like being in an industry where many, many, many people don't do things legitimately. Yeah. I'm constantly advised by people who do things in ways that are non-traditional, AKA shady. Yeah. So while like we're describing this, it's important to say that there's like it's a choose your own adventure of like how legit you want to be. And usually when people find their preference, they're very vocal about it in my experience. So I've had so many people I come into contact with just swear on their life that I should be doing things in the way that they do them. And it's like, it's been really challenging for me because I'm kind of the type to like value people's opinions when I don't know things. Like if someone's kind of got some experience on me or years on me, I tend to be like, oof, that's pretty good indicator that you should do something. So
which is not a bad way to live your lifestyle. Right. Like I don't want you like you shouldn't think that that's like a negative for you. I think that's a very big positive.
It gets problematic though when for many years people have been doing things in sketchy ways. And like in the glass industry for 15, 20 years, people have found their own sketchy ways that work, but that are like if you matched them up to like the IRS, they'd be like, no, don't do this. So it's just been such a like challenge to get through that, but it's totally worth it because like the headspace awarded to you by doing things legit is, I think personally, like unmatched. I think there's nothing quite like having a headspace where you know that the IRS knows about you and that like you're okay and you've got a structure that like works. I don't think there's a price that you can pay for like that kind of headspace.
Dude, whenever you're doing that, you don't have this can all fall apart hanging over your head.
For real.
24/7
for real, because like your days might not fall apart, but then the more unlegit.
Still have
you
that
do
thought
it,
over your
like,
head
dude,
going
in the
like this
back of your
can
head. Yeah.
this can all go away like
Yeah.
in a matter of a minute.
Yeah.
This can all go away.
And I'm even full legit, and I think about like, oh, well, retroactively, what if I've done something wrong in the past year or two? And then even that, like, yeah, you know, you're held accountable for a lot of things, but you just got to do
But
your
even
best.
even on that end though, you can go with evidence going like, look, I tried.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, like you
yeah.
can't like fucking, you can't just completely rape me. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I've been doing my best. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not actively trying to get out of this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But sorry, I just wanted to put some numbers down because it blew me away whenever I really found out the numbers. But like, so like your friend Leo, like paying his employees. So it's a big number, but like, let's say he pays employees, like he has a full-time employee that makes $10K a month. So they are a $120,000 a year salaried employee.
Sure.
You know, which could definitely be a fucking chef at a nice restaurant.
Oh yeah.
So let's say he's paying $10K a month. It is going to cost the business $1,600 on top of the $10 that they give to their employee. So you have $10K to your employee each month. You actually have to allot $11,600 that you need to pay because you give $10 to the employee and then you give $1,600 to the government as your part of payroll taxes.
That's on the low end, dude.
Yeah.
That's completely on the low end. You actually pay like $800 just to have an employee.
Like, $800 for 5K. So it'd be like, $1,600 for 10K.
Yeah. And that's not including like all the taxes.
The employee then pays taxes out of that 10K. So like I'm just saying from the business owner standpoint. Now, like, let's put like the situation of Ben himself. Yeah. So Ben pays, you know, let's say Ben pays him again. I'm making numbers up. Let's please not say that this is what Ben makes.
We're just trying to.
So let's say Ben wants to pay himself $10K a month. Well, you know, you have the company Focus Industries that gives Ben $10,000. Focus Industry pays an additional $1,600 on top of that. And then Ben himself has to pay an additional number on top of that out of his 10K. Yeah. So out of Ben's 10K, there's another like 20, I don't know the exact number here, but like 2,500 to 3,000 that he would pay in taxes.
Probably 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, gotta correct you. It's Big Focus Enterprises, not Industries. Get that shit correct. Shout out Rob Deerdeck.
My bad, bro.
Yeah. It was, I mean, that's like pretty accurate. It's a little bit roundabout. Yeah. Like, I think what would make more sense for a young business owner trying to do something in a legit way is if you want 10 grand in your pocket after taxes, you want 10K after taxes, you're gonna have to generate about 16 grand or something. That's like,
yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Like kind of on point, like almost a little conservative. I would say if you wanted a paycheck of 10 grand, you'd probably be comfortable making 17.5 and paying. Nah, maybe that's a little much.
No, I think 16 was a solid number.
16
is a solid number. Accurate. Yeah, you're gonna be a little bit over. You know, you're gonna be safe. But yeah, for you, if you want to run a legit business, have that business and pay yourself as an artist.
Yeah, and like a couple hundred or 1,000 of that may be sort of accounted for at the end of the year, which is something that like you want to err on the safe side of. And I think I do like a pretty like middle of the road breakdown of that to where like I don't think I'll owe at the end of the year, but I don't think I'm gonna get a bag back either.
Which is a fucking smart way to do it. You don't want to fucking give the government a bunch of money and then hope they give you some back.
Well, right. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. But yeah, if you want to pay yourself 10 grand, you got to come up with 16, which is like kind of mind blowing when you get into it. And when you think about doing it for a long term, it's like, holy shit, you got to generate a lot. But
I mean,
the headspace is worth it.
And yeah, the headspace, but also like, I think there's been a big, just because of the, again, not to get political, but just because of the governments for the past 20 odd years, that we feel that there's no incentive to be part of the community.
Yeah.
you know, to pay into these taxes. Cause like, what are we getting out of it? What's really happening for us? You know, but like, let's just say, you know, perfect world, you know, we do get roads to drive on. We do get, you know, just infrastructure and shit. And in a perfect world, we would get a lot more out of that.
I'll take it a step further, and like, even if we may not get the perfect roads in the perfect world now, you living in a way that you are able to break chunks off for people other than yourself, it ends up garnering a way of doing things that's kind of like, let's just say big dick energy, you know? Because when you're a big businessman and you can break off big old chunks for all these different things, you're able to throw your weight around in like way bigger arena than if you live in a world where every penny needs to be yours. That is like natural to think that way. Yeah. Like I've thought that way for years, and like I forgive people who think that way, because like, holy shit, you made that money, baby. You made $20. You should get $20. But like, the more you can distance yourself from that, like you can flex on them, because you just practice not doing it just for you. And then you sort of get a headspace of like, well, this is bigger than just me. And you can really like snowball that headspace into being a big business person, in my opinion. But it does take so much stuff that doesn't benefit you directly, that like paying taxes is only part of it. Because like, there's people who like, let's say you like need 10 grand, you pay 6 grand in taxes. Like, you being able to do that doesn't just mean you're able to pay yourself. It means you're able to generate more than just crumbs. So like, next time you need lighting, or you need like $1,600 for, you know, a weird bill for your place or whatever, you're a lot closer to being able to generate that, because you're not in the mind state of all this money's mine. You know, you want to have a business where just like it generates a crap load of money and you get some of it. It's a bit uncomfortable. It sure is uncomfortable for me. I've been had such a hard time dealing with that, because like I've been the only like person behind all of this. So it's so counterintuitive. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I like do this. What do you mean? Other people need it. But the more I can practice like doing things for other people, even when it's like taxes, it's just like, it puts you in a different headspace where you can generate a lot more when you're not worried about just like hoarding it all away. You're just like, shit, man, let's run it up. We're going to need a bunch of money to do this.
Well, that like,
it works.
Eventually you start to where your wants and needs are no longer of your personal self, and they're of the business, or of, you know, just outside things. Yeah. So you're not constantly being like, oh, I need this bag because I want to buy myself a TV, or I want to buy myself a nicer house, or I want to, you know, do this or that. But it's like, oh, I want this bag because I want to outfit my studio better. Yeah. And it's like, well, cool. You don't have to pay taxes on that shit.
Yeah, right.
That's one of the great thing about the American government, is they're like, if it's for the business, fucking run it. Like, run it.
Right. Yeah.
You know? So, yeah.
Bringing it full circle, though, Leo's someone who's embodied that in a big way, and certainly has built his business in a way that's like so not selfish. Like, I don't know if he would tell you that because he's a humble guy, but like, dude, he's done it because he's, you know, takes care of his employees, takes wicked good care of his family, which is just so honorable. Got 2 younger brothers, and then the parents who are older and non-native speaking. So he is like that guy. Yeah. Dude, he's that guy taking care of so much. It was so eye-opening to talk to him about all his responsibilities.
Dude, oldest son, first generation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to say oldest son, oldest child, first generation.
Yeah.
Is always, there's always a lot of pressure.
He took that pressure and he was like, cool. Yeah. I'll run with it. Let's go. Yeah. So then like 5 or 10 years, maybe like 8 years after they opened their successful Mexican restaurant, there was an opening in the same plaza for another restaurant business. Opens up an Italian restaurant.
Like, he does?
Opens up an Italian restaurant.
Good for him.
I just like talked to him obviously a couple days ago, which we went fishing. I need to tell you the fishing story because this is with Leo. Shout out to Leo, man. We need to have Leo on the podcast. Really entrepreneurial spirit, good guy. But he was saying now his Italian restaurant is rivaling the Mexican one. Like it's been up and running for maybe 5 or 10 years now.
Good for him.
The timeline's all wacky because I haven't been in good contact with him, but you know, years ago he started that, and now it's like finally on a good track.
Good for him.
Wild.
Dude, shout out the restaurants. Like,
Yeah.
if anyone's local, they should definitely go to these
everybody
places.
out near Rock Creek and 185th, sort of out near West Portland area and like West Hills. Go to Allen's Authentic Mexican Restaurant. It's in a big plaza near a Safeway near Rock Creek PCC. I used to go to school out there. Fun fact.
Dope.
PCC. No, I was never very passionate about PCC, but I went to school out there. And yeah, he's been there. The best Mexican food. The salmon tacos are what I've gotten many times.
Dope.
Just absolutely delicious. But I'd say they probably have more than just Americanized.
Yeah.
Like you when I go there, I feel like I'm getting the real deal.
Yeah.
It's like actually really good food. It feels like they make you what they would want.
Well, I mean, it's in a pretty, it's in a like a very like Mexican cultural dense area.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like, oh, they're like serving just a bunch of white people, so they have to cater to that. Like, no, they're in a very dense immigrant area.
Yeah.
Like that's like, right between Hillsborough and Beaverton.
Yeah.
Like right there.
Yeah. And I assume the name of the Italian restaurant's the same as when they started, but it was Degario's Italian Ristorante. So go check that out. It's right across from Allen's. And yeah, both places you can be sure you're going to get treated well, get amazing food in like a clean, beautiful environment. Like take a pretty girl on a date there. Definitely should do that. Yeah. It was crazy catching up with him. So he has a lot on his shoulders, busy guy. And they had to start closing Mondays and Tuesdays because their family was just like so busy.
Yeah.
They're having trouble finding employees. The workforce is just shifting. People are wanting to work online, mobile, or not work at all. So there's all kinds of challenges that have come up for him in this sort of post-COVID time that he's faced with. And it's been really like hard, but he's getting through it.
Yeah,
Crazy.
dude. Finding employees is like a very real deal in every industry right now.
Right.
Every single industry.
Yeah. And like Leo's a demanding guy. Like I personally wouldn't want to work for him because I know he's going to be like, get your shit together. So like, that's going to be an extra level of doing it.
Yeah.
That's how he's gotten the business so far. But yeah, he told me, he's like, dude, we should go fishing sometime because I have Mondays and Tuesdays off. And I'm like, bet. So 15 years ago, him and I went fishing at the little pond near my house, near my parents' house.
Nice.
And like caught some little fish back then. Man, it's crazy. Now bring it full circle. We went real fishing and it was actually like pretty epic. So we started out light because I knew like he's coming off of all of his responsibilities for like the restaurant and shit. So what's the last thing he wants to like talk about? Probably the restaurant and his challenges, like probably just like really up to his head in that. So I was like, all right, we're just going to go fishing, chill. So we were like walking out at the fishing spot. He immediately like catches one, but loses it. And then while he's like reeling it in and losing it, he's like freaking out because it's been like 15 years since he's caught a fish. Probably the last time he was with me, he caught a fish when we were in middle school or some shit. So he's freaking out and he like walks down to the edge and walks into like the biggest sticker bush imaginable.
Oh no.
Something about this type of sticker bush mixed with the material that whatever his pants were, they were kind of fancy. Like he's like dressed nice. It's like probably some linen or some shit. Shout out Chad Muska. There's something about it magnetically, just like that sticker bush, this pants, just like that's it. That's what we're doing. Whole pants got covered in stickers, like all down the front, and the pants were thin. So he said it was like poking the fuck out of him.
No.
So like 10 minutes in.
I was gonna say, you just have to sit there and pick every little one of them out the whole time, too.
So that's what he did. He's like, shit, man, I kind of got like, this hurts. So he's just like picking them out. And then I kind of joked and I was like, dude, you can just like, I don't know, like take them off or something. I don't know. And he just like takes his pants off, wraps his hoodie around his waist. So he's like a little more modest, fishes the rest of the night like that.
So the real question we need to know is tighty whities?
No.
Boxer briefs?
No,
Boxers?
like tactical. Think like a Navy SEAL.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. Goes down to about here. Looks like a pair of swim trunks. Yeah. Skin tight. Yeah. Got you.
Isn't that funny how one word is enough? Tactical.
Exactly.
Nope. Yep.
I've seen the advertisements.
Yep.
Why?
Yep. Yeah. No, he's like clean dressed, like tactical type. It was so funny. And then I just, just this like dope businessman, just like fishing in his boxers. It was pretty amazing. Got pretty cold, but he stuck with it. He caught one fish. I caught a few, so it was a good night.
Where'd you guys go?
An undisclosed location. I'm not going to blast
Cool.
it on public yet.
Gotcha.
I actually, you know what? Since it's on my mind, I'm going to say it. I'm considering starting or front running the first Oregon-based glass and fishing competition event thing.
Let's go.
Called the Glassmaster Classic. So I went fishing with Bowser, and I've been fishing with a couple glass people, and I gotta tell you, they are the happiest motherfuckers ever when they're not blowing glass. So the thing about being a glass blower is like you get in this lifestyle of just like smoking weed, sitting in a garage, making something really, really dope and meaningful that like makes your heart sing. So you have this like weird relationship where like you kind of dungeonize yourself and like just lock yourself up, but then you like make money doing it and like you satisfy your creative urge. So like a lot of needs are met, but like you can sustain yourself for months and literally years with just very little like outside interaction,
sunlight.
very little sunlight, very little like fresh air and like new environments.
You could like never leave your studio or house or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, food gets delivered.
Yeah.
You get paid. You get paid through fucking apps on your phone.
Yeah.
Like you can bank through apps on your phone.
It's dangerous.
Like you
I've
can order food and stuff. And yeah, I know all about your neighbors.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. I've just been at home so much. Yeah. So like the common thing with glassblowers is just all of us sort of have that lifestyle. It's completely not like me being unique at all. Like a lot of glassblowers just like you get kind of caught up. You're working on crazy projects. You are making money. You are providing value. It's enough to get by and more than enough to get by. But you kind of go like unnoticed with this like challenging aspect of like never leaving the fucking house. So whenever I like go fishing with glassblowers, it's like the best day ever. They're just like, this is great. Oh, I fell down. Like, what? Whatever. I don't fucking care. Like, whatever.
I'm out in the sun.
Yeah.
This is wonderful.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're sad you didn't catch a fish. Like, who cares? You know, they're just like overwhelmingly happy.
I was outside.
Yeah. Yeah. So couple that with the responses online that I get from fishing, which like everyone appears to love. Many people appear to like love that I like doing something other than glass blowing, which is good because I really do. And I want to do more of it. So I've gotten like tons of response from like industry people separate from people that I hang out with. They're just like, they just love that. So I'm like, wow, what makes glassblowers really happy? Getting out. But also like they still love glass. So I'm thinking a happy medium would be an event where like glassblowers compete with each other to catch the biggest fish.
Let's go.
Glassmaster Classic.
Let's go.
I feel like I'm the person who could bring this together.
I think it's amazing.
Like I was about to go fishing like a couple of days ago and I was like, there's 5 people that would come immediately if I like, but I was like, oh, I just want to have like a moment with my friend Leo. So I didn't do it, but I was like, shit, if I wanted to, it's 4 other people right now that would be like, bet I'll be there right now. So I'm like, well, shit, we could do something with this that would be really fun and could like further everyone. I don't know. It'd just be, mostly it would be fun. We don't really get anything but fun.
Exactly. No, that's all it needs to be right now is fun.
Like I could see some legends coming out just for fun.
Yeah.
But the moment you make it cool, less people are going to do it.
Dude, do it for fun and fuck it. Like do it like a charity aspect of it or something.
Yeah,
you know, because that's you can add just such a it gives it backbone. You know, it gives it backbone. It gives it something because like yes. Like it should be all about the fun. It should be all about like having a good time, but like that can lend to like flakiness and just like, it's a good time. I might show up, I might not. But like if you give it a little bit of backbone behind like, just like fucking sell something like fish related and the money is going to go towards, you can take like half of it and fucking make a dope trophy or something. Like,
well, dude, I want to do something glass related. So I was thinking about a glass blowing tier where you're an actual Instagram glass blower who is like legit sold stuff on Instagram. Like you would qualify, you know, just not like super stringent, you know, Nick could be up in this bitch. And then separate from that, be like a collector tier.
Yeah.
So like the glass blowers could compete against glass blowers to catch the biggest fish. And then the collectors could compete too. It might have to be a separate thing and kind of like unclear. It's actually really valuable. We're hashing it out like this because I can like think clearly about it. But I thought like for a collector prize, a pipe would be amazing. Something really cool and fish related would be like so dope. Glassblowers aren't going to be as about it. They'll be just as jazzed for like charity or whatever, I think.
Dude, you could, some sort of dumb trophy. Some sort of weird, like stupid trophy, so that like it's just something that can sit in your studio.
Yeah, we got to make it not glass though. If it wants to be fun, it's like being a glassblower. I don't want to make a glass trophy. I don't want to.
Dude, I don't want to. No, you need to go to like Beaverton to the trophy store and have them make a fucking like stupid engraved trophy.
Best glass blowing fisherman.
Yeah.
Of the year or something. Yeah. That's gotta be
get some sort of cheesy top, like a fisherman or like something. Like
we need one that's like the Stanley Cup, where you can
put names on it.
Year.
Dude, we have one at the swim center that we give out to it's like a certain award, and like you just have a wooden base, and you have a plate that you put on it, because then you engrave the plate, and then you put the next plate on the side and the back and the side, and then you can put another wooden base on the bottom, so it keeps getting bigger.
We're doing that. There's nothing I would rather do than hoist a trophy with freaking Brunel.pdx on it because he won the last year.
Right?
I would be ecstatic. I would probably buzz the entire year off like winning that. Oh my God. But I'm not going to be competing. That's
it could be like each glass blower makes a pendant in their style, and then whoever wins their pendant gets put on the trophy.
That would be something.
Maybe you could have a little bit of art to it.
Maybe.
Or just
the
have
less
a
glass,
fucking
the better.
Stupid engraving.
I personally would be so much happier with just a cheesy engraving.
Okay, let's go.
No, but you bring up a good point about how we could monetize this for charity or not, or half monetize it. Realistically, if you actually want to do something, you probably lean on like half monetizing and half charity, because there's back end that something like that would take.
Yeah.
For example, if we want to have an actual tournament where people don't like hate each other after the first one, we've got to have scales, and we've got to have a little bit of legitimacy,
Yeah.
So that was one barrier. I thought, I was like, well, how would that actually play out? And what the structure could be is this area that I go fishing at, which I'll probably just say it later on because everyone really knows it. It's a public fishing area. It's a public fishing area with multiple different ponds. So you could easily meet in the parking lot, get the spiel of what's going down, and then everyone could fan out in like a really comfortable way. There would be enough room for 50 or 100 anglers. It'd be like a little crowded if there was 100, but there's enough area where you can go out and like find your own little area. So my thought was, if maybe there's got to be a qualifying thing, because each person ideally would have a scale. And a scale, like an accurate scale, would be like a little bit of a barrier to entry. I wouldn't want people to get discouraged if like they're like, fuck, I gotta spend money on a scale.
I mean, do you think we could just like Alibaba, like 20 little like
you could do it. Yeah. I mean, realistically, an actual scale would probably be like $40.
Oh damn. Okay.
So it's not out of the question, but that would be. I would prefer to be like, hey guys, I'm having a fishing event. You don't need anything except your poles. That I think would bring a great response if they could just come and like do their thing. Or we could have people like you or I on call, so the different fishermen could be like, hey, I got a fish over here.
Yeah.
And go over and weigh it, record it, lock it down.
Yeah. Is there so it sounds like you're talking a catch and release.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All the fishing I do is catch and release.
Sweet.
Yep. That's what we do. So that's what that would be.
Dope.
A lot of the tournaments are, conservation based too. So like on top, let's add another layer on top of that. It would be really dope to do it in a way where maybe it was a third charity, a third conservation, and a third monetization or sustainability.
Yeah. Well,
that'd be kind of dope.
I mean, the charity could be conservation.
Yeah, easily. So, and then, okay, so scale back to that. You'd mentioned like each artist makes a pendant, and we went off from there. But my thought would be like, it'd be super dope to have the Glassmaster Classic be its own entity, and then the entry sort of requirement is that you bring something of value for us to sell for charity or something like that.
Wait, you had mentioned having a artist and a like customer or collector.
Mm-hmm.
entry is collector has to purchase the piece, and the purchase of the piece goes to the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like each collector will have their artist, and it's like they're almost like a pair. That way, collector gets a piece of art immediately. They get the thing from this Glassmaster, and then those proceeds are the artist's entry fee.
Yeah. So to start out, we might not have too many people to pull from, but like, what if it grew in popularity to where that was a qualifying purchase to get you in? So like,
that's what I'm saying.
You had to. So there's only like, what if there's only like 12 glassblowers and 12 collectors?
Exactly. Like, dude, how dope.
Oh, it would go.
It could fucking evolve into where that's your team actually too. Whoa. Like, and it's a team thing. Yeah. So then like, dude, it'd be dope to like winners get like a dinner or something, or like, you know, just something like you were saying, how like the whole idea is to like get people out and having fun. Yeah. So like, okay, the fucking winner gets like, you know, a big gift certificate to a brewery, or like, you know, dinner out at a nice place.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, something that's like just about like spoiling those people.
Yeah.
Couples massage.
Couples
massage for the artist and the customer.
Good Lord. Oh my God.
Could you imagine just the absurdity of it?
Oh my God. You're going to see Sweeney Glass busting doors down, like fishing so fucking hard. Just throwing that bitch out there. Like, come on, big fish.
Sweeney's convinced his wife to buy buy the pendant, so they're the partnership. They end up fucking going out, having a great evening, winning the fucking tournament, and getting a fucking couples massage. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
I can't imagine the smiles. Like, really.
That'd be a pretty good time. It sounds like it'd be a pretty good time.
Right. The main thing is how much fun it would be to have all these people gather around something that's not serious. They don't have to do it. They're not being made or broken by it. But like, dude.
Dude, set up like a fucking little sesh spot in the parking lot or whatever. Yeah. So like just like spectators or people that just want to like hang out for the event, have a place to like chill.
Yeah. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Dude, I really want to do this.
Dude, I think the idea of like just having a couple scales out there with like a couple people who are like managing the event. Mm-hmm. And it's just, you call out when you have a fish, we run over there, grab it out. You know, it would just be a matter of just making sure to map out the logistics of it.
Yeah. And it wouldn't be a huge problem until it gained popularity. So you just want to...
And then when it gains in popularity, those problems go away because we can buy fucking to everyone their own scale.
Right. We
could like cameras.
We actually could have like a lot of that. Yeah.
You fucking... Yeah, you hire a person that has to like be with every person with You can definitely like once the popularity gains and there's actually like a good amount of money flowing through it, then you can just start paying people to do stuff.
That would be dope. I don't know what kind of charity would be best fit for this though. Like conservation would be dope, but
dude, there's got to be some sort of like young anglers society or something that like, you know, there's got to be something.
A lot of that's a lot more normal in the southern states because their brand of outdoor person is a lot more fishing and hunting. Yeah. So like you couldn't tell me that we're not outdoor people up here because we absolutely are. Almost everyone's an outdoor person. It's a different flavor though. So it's hiking and snowboarding and biking up here. Yeah. Down
more
south,
like more adventure sports or like outdoor activity sports versus like not that like hunting and fishing is not outdoor activity, but like it's more, I don't know, it's just a different type of activity.
Yeah, it's not as much of a forefront thing here as it is like in the southern states where that's like what the outdoor activity is.
I mean, then we could easily find something in the southern states too then to kind of donate to or whatever.
Yeah. That's something.
Once there's...
If you guys have any suggestions, what would be a good thing that we could gather around to do the Glassmaster Classic? Because I don't want it to be us and our bankrolls being run up. I think it would be proper for like even the glass industry. Well, you know, just look right there. You know, we can, that might be a weird part of this is like we still keep it glass, but it's still fishing because people care so much about glass and their lives around that like that'd be dope.
I wonder if there's so like I know in like the traditional art community there's, I forget the term for it, but there's a thing where an artist like applies for just grants. Yeah. You know, and it's to help aid them in their work, whether it be like sustain their lifestyle or for actual materials. Like I forget what it's called, but there's an actual
Grant describes it pretty well.
Then I must be thinking like a specific famous one that like a lot of artists go for. But I wonder if there's
Glass Vegas has what they call, and I'm quite sure it's Glass Vegas. Forgive me if it's one of the other shows, but I think Glass Vegas has what they call an injured artist fund, where if you, I guess, get fucked up on the job, get a big burn or are out cold or whatever, you can apply and get some assistance there. And that made me think of a really what a really feel good thing for Glassmaster Classic would be is if somehow, and this isn't an easy task, but what if somehow the person who needs help the most and is deserving, what if somehow that was easier to find? Because like people take advantage of those things, and if you just said $5,000 for whoever's hurting the most, usually the first person is going to take it because everyone's hurting a little bit. But if there was some way to actually know, like through the grapevine, be like, yo, so-and-so been through it this year. What would make a huge difference in so-and-so's life is getting a bag, $3,000 or $5,000 or something. That would be the best feeling thing.
So, yeah, I mean, that's essentially then you're saying like you want to create the Injured Artist Fund. Yeah.
Somehow in a way that would be like, I guess, so democratic, So
I'm sure there has to be organizations doing that for traditional artists.
Oh,
like there's guaranteed to. So, you just find an organization that is doing that well and is, well recommended, reach out to them and go, we want to do this for glass artists. How can you help us set this up? Because I mean, most of those, almost all those things are nonprofit. Well, they have to be. Those are all nonprofit organizations. Yeah. So, my sister works in nonprofits. And that stuff. So she would definitely
pretty relatable.
Yeah, she would definitely know how to go about that stuff.
Yeah, it would just be even better if we all gathered for a super fun day. We all pitch in a little. We all get super energized from it. And then someone or some people get like
benefit from it.
Seriously helped.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Dude, I mean, I think the biggest thing is that this whole idea isn't so you get money.
Yeah, it can't.
And that's the whole thing. There's no.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So like, I mean, the idea of Glassmaster Classic is definitely sounds like, completely nonprofit.
Yeah.
Any sort of money that comes in will simply go to the organization of the event or some form of charitable endeavor.
Yeah. Like then, because there's tons of ways you could further influence people if we did use money for like good ways in the business. Yeah. So like, I wouldn't want to close us off from that, because if we could generate $5,000 or $10,000 regularly, you could definitely expand the options of your influence. If you could spend $5,000 or $10,000 on the event, you could certainly open yourself up to get, a lot more for your charitable cause. So while it might take some money, the end goal would be to give more than it takes. Yeah. But if we could get the structure built, there could be like more people who want to take part in it.
Yeah.
Bigger lakes.
I mean,
better pizza, Papa John's.
I mean, let's put that in like real terms. It takes money to advertise and get information out there. So if you never put any money towards advertising and getting your information out there, then you're not going to have as many people in it.
Whoa. Glassmaster Classic DFO sponsor. So then that would be a whole nother level if we strategically made events around where big hubs of people, like when DFO comes around, there's thousands of people who love this industry who travel to Portland specifically for that.
The Glassmaster Classic was like the kickoff event for DFO, or even like how DFO ended.
Yeah.
It was like everyone made their pieces at DFO for.
Oh my God.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No. But you got a dream.
Dude, I like legitimately though, like just from what you've said, it sounds like you could do a kickoff little Glassmaster Classic Portland with,
5-10 people.
Yeah, 5-10 people.
We would have a ripping good time. I already know Brunel.pdx would be out there. I'll try to get Sweeney out there, Bowser, a bunch of other people, get you out there, and just have like a super fun day. Even if we all pitch $10,
Yeah.
Just
yeah, I think even the idea with the customer could work right off the bat too.
Yeah.
Because they're like every guy that you name besides me right there, like has a fucking customer base.
You have a customer base.
Shut up.
It's just your shop name.
They're my friends. My customer is my friends.
That's okay.
But no, like all those guys have a customer base that,
Yeah.
I don't want to be speaking out of turn, but I can imagine they can find one person that would buy something from them that would want to go fishing with them.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm really leaning hard at this. Sweeney's going to have his wife buy it for him. So then just him
Right?
and his wife out for a fucking nice day of fishing.
Right? Dude, Sweeney has such good energy and like such good ideas about like he goes so deep in the glass that I know bringing him into an alternate like non-glass environment, I think he would just explode with happiness.
Yeah.
It'd be so fun.
It'd be
Like
cool.
bring his kids there and shit. Like it'd be so dope. Yeah. This
It'd be
could
rad.
actually happen.
It'd be rad. I'd have Nick and Heiser be my customer. It's not allowed to be
There you
yours.
go. There you go.
Not yours.
Love it. Shout out Nick and Heiser. Yeah, man. The only problem is seasonally things are a little iffy right now. But maybe that's meant to be so I can plan things for the next year. But really,
the more you talk about it, the more people are going to get hyped about it.
right?
You know, the more that it's like we bring it up, dude.
The name alone, I was like, it's
between now and then, you don't think that you'll have a few free hours to draw up a dope fucking ad? Like, do something real fucking rad.
Right? Do something like real slow growth where it's like just plugging it for a few months and like could turn into something amazing. Yeah, there you go. Man.
It'd be a lot of fun, man.
Crazy.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I need to do that. We'll put a pin in that. I'm going to brainstorm hella about Glassmaster Classic today. Be talking about it.
3 different charity events with the swim team, like organize them, put them together. Yeah, we raised $2,500 for the breast cancer awareness that Susan G. Komen like Run for the Cure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did $2,500 one year, $2,000 the next year, and then we did like $1,500 for like a soup kitchen.
Dope.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. How do you generate that? Is it like a specific competition day where you're entered in to win like a trophy on this one day?
Like there's swimathons.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, and it's like the kid will go into school, work, families, and ask people to donate a certain amount of money per lap. Yeah. And then they have, I think we did like a 20-minute swim. Anywhere from 20 minutes, and the people do all the way up to like an hour and go, or they will just say like, I'm going to swim 1,000 laps. Yeah. You know, how much are you going to donate per lap? And then they get in the water and they swim 1,000 laps.
And then if you're Michael Scott, you tell them like $35 a lap.
Yeah. They would donate $50. Look at all these people being cheap, donating 20 cents, $2. Oh my God. She ran 30 laps last year.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep. Uh-huh. You're going to have to refinance your house. Shout out to Tim Talks. If you need to refinance any properties that you own, hit up Realtor Tim Kalin. Really though, thank you, Tim, for having us on. Let's take this moment to just give you a big shout out for welcoming me onto your podcast last time and providing us this opportunity to film a dope podcast here. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim Talks. Everyone go watch, run that up, run up TikToks, up. Tim Talks, run it, bro.
Like, comment, run it up, do all that thing.
Yes.
Yep. Hell yeah. Yeah. I just thought of another one where you could have maybe, I don't know if youth division, but like a maybe 18 to 21 division where they compete to win a setup, like a torch. And like imagine if you could go fishing for a day and you could potentially win like torch, glass kiln, like all your tools and shit. Oh my God.
Whenever you said the swim things that we ran, we always had a raffle table, and you go around to different businesses and just get donations, and they just give you, they literally give you stuff because they can write it off as a charitable donation. So like, if you would give a rig, so let's talk about money laundering real quick. You give a rig, and you could be like, that was a $600 rig.
I mean,
I did a charitable donation of $600,
which ends up not being what you just said.
It's a $1,200 rig now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, wait a second. My value just went up. That's a $1,500 rig. I actually donated $1,500. I didn't only donate $6,000.
Yeah, I donated a shoe that was $50,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't understand why? I can explain to you why. As long as I have the right explanation.
I saw on my Explore page, which is just so addicting, and like oh my god, I like look on my Explore page a little too much because it's always new stuff, right? So it's super fun. Oh, it's addicting.
I never go on my Explore page.
That's like all I do, dude.
Yeah.
It's weird. Because there's not usually ads, so it's kind of nice. It's
true.
And my following that I actually follow is so small that there's many people who I don't follow who I like love. So I just see everyone on the Explore page.
Got you.
I'm like, hey, nice to see you again.
Like Carlo and Sarah?
Huh?
Sorry. It's my person that I watch. Carlo's an Italian dude and Sarah's his wife, and she always makes fun of him because he always says weird stuff.
Amazing.
Anyways.
No, but hold on. Reel it back in just like we're catching the winning fish for the Glassmaster Classic. On my Explore page, I saw a rich person hack, and it was like buy expensive artwork and then take insurance out on it, but then claim like massive appreciation. So like buy something for $20K and then get an insurance policy on it for like $100K and then like do some weird rich person thing, like get money.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, it's like,
and then donate. Donate it.
I think that maybe that's part of it.
Donate it to the museum of your house. That is your house because you're a registered museum.
You just finished it out. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yep.
Damn. Registered museum. Flex.
Yeah.
Well,
dude, I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of it can be said that you're just like insulating yourself.
Yeah.
So like one thing that you personally could do would be you open up another LLC. Mm-hmm. And that LLC's sole business is to pay you.
Okay.
So now that LLC is going to be a private contractor to Big Focus Enterprises. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now, say Big Focus Enterprises gets into some shit and they get sued for every single thing they own. Mm-hmm. Cool. You're not part of that.
Well, the advantage
you're not
is
part of that industry. You're not even being paid by that. You're not even, personally aren't even a contractor of that business. You're a contractor of this other LLC.
You're spitting game, but you forget that I'm an S Corp. So that's one of the cornerstones of being an S Corp is the division of liability. Yes. So S Corps more than LLCs stand on their own and take the brunt of legal things. So it should be in place that as an S Corp, it's already kind of like that.
Yeah, you're a little bit insulated there.
Yeah, definitely more than an LLC. Yeah, interesting shit. Yeah, dude, there's so many things we could do. Glassmaster Classic. Well, so to finish out our fishing trip. Okay, so we caught a couple fish. It was dope. My homie's balling. He's fishing with his pants off, whatever. But this whole time we're God damn it. I wasn't looking. Yeah, I was looking at his fish that he was catching because he was fishing really hard.
He was big balling.
Yeah.
Big ball fishing.
No, he's a very tactical guy. What you picture is what was going down. So it's getting dark, and we haven't even talked this much at this point. And it's because I've been feeling it out and been like, dude, it felt great to just like let someone exist. Someone who's been working so hard. You could just feel it. It's like, dude, I know you don't get to do this, so do it. So I just talked about fishing, and then started to get dark. Walk back to the van. We both drive minivans now. Nice. We both last time we hung out, we both had cool cars. And now we both drive minivans.
Yeah, and now you both have cooler cars.
Well, yeah, and Leo probably still has his cool car. I just don't because I'm fucking lost all my money and had to sell it to pay off debt. Anyway, that's another story.
Shout out Tim Talks.
Yeah. So we're walking back and we start talking, and that's when he tells me all these crazy stories about the business, his responsibilities, trials and tribulations, all while he's smiling and laughing. So he's taking it like a freaking champ. Like I'm here like, what, are you serious? You're confronted with that issue and that? Like, what? So it's starting to get dark, and we're like, okay. Park closes at 9, so it's behind a electronic gate, and it closes at 9. Big yellow sign. So just picture, you park your car, you're in the parking lot, you're walking toward the first fishing pond, and there's a huge yellow sign, and it says, park gate closes at 9 p.m. I think it's 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. But what we didn't notice, which is some shit, is above the giant yellow sign, bigger than this round table. We're talking big old yellow sign. It says closed at 9. Apparently, above there is a small brown sign that big that says winter hours, October, starting October 1st. It closes at 7.
Oh no.
So we're just talking like life trauma dumping in an empty parking lot. And I'm feeling great because I'm like, oh my God, this time with my friend is so dope. And like, it's so good to catch up with him. It's like blowing my mind, all the things he's doing. And like, we're like, damn, there's like no one else around here. But then we're both like, oh, I saw on the sign, it said 9 p.m. So like, we're good, man. We're good till 9. And it just like an hour passes. So we start at like 7 and it's getting towards 8 and we're still talking. And we're just like feeling good, you know, like deep engaged in conversation. And then out of a trailer, because there's like a trailer parked on the property, who I assume is like the manager or someone like taking care of the grounds or something. They come out and it's 2 old people and they're getting their sweatshirts on, ready to like go for a walk. And they like sassed us pretty hard. They're like, they came in pretty hot. They were like, you guys not see the sign or something? And I'm like, oh, like, or no, I think she came out and in the darkness, like they're in an illuminated like trailer, like their living space. And she just like comes out and just looks at the parking lot directly at us. Cause we're like covered in darkness kind of. And I'm just like, all right. She's like definitely looking at us. So I was like, hello, like just giving you a little hi. Like, I don't.
Like, yeah, we're not like doing anything weird.
Yeah.
We're just chatting. What's up?
Yeah. And she's like, did you guys not see the sign? And I'm like, what sign? I saw the one right there that says it closes at 9 p.m. And I've been here multiple times this year and gate closes at 9 p.m. She's like, October 1st, we close at 7 p.m. She didn't even say we. She just said like, it closes at 7 p.m. And I'm like, you can't be serious. Really? Like, I made sure to look at that. I'm here fishing with my old friend from school. We're talking and having a good time. And like, Leo was like super nice about it. He's like, oh, we're so sorry and stuff. And I was just like, that's not really fair. Like, I just looked at it and I was like a little more like pissed off because I'm like, I'm a rule following motherfucker, man. Don't
you say I didn't follow the rules.
Don't you say I didn't follow the rules.
Say I didn't follow the rules.
Specifically looked at the sign, then it said 9 p.m. So I was just getting flustered pretty quick. I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. So what? And then they were so sassy. They were like, well, I don't know. Maybe the gate will open for you. And I'm like, maybe? Like, my lady's at home, 20 minutes away with my kiddo who just went to sleep. And you think, like, there's a chance that I'm going to have to, like, tell her to come get me and my friend from a weird fishing spot? Like, this is not going to go over well. So it's like 5-minute drive to the gate because you kind of like come in the gate and you go all the way back and that's like spot you park. So like we're like, okay. So I'm like, all right, Leo, I'll see you later. Let's see if we're getting out. So we like each follow each other in our minivans and we're like going out. And I'm just like, dude, this feels weird. Like I kind of think I'm gonna get out, but I kind of think we're gonna have trouble. And we get up to the gate, nothing happens. It's just nothing. So we go like full dad mode. We like leave our minivans on with the lights and we like get out and just kind of like look at the gate, kind of do the dad thing, like kind of like, try to look for like a number or a button or something. And I go out to the front to the keypad and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on. Like
yeah, maybe.
It's like not looking good. It's like nothing's beeping, nothing's moving, no lights are going on, nothing's happening, man. And then on like the far side, like there's one red button. And Leo, being a savage, he was like, I kind of want to press the button. And I was like, dude, I don't know. It's a red button. It's a red one. Like, I don't know. Is it going to fucking explode? Like, what's going to happen? So we kind of went back and forth and we're like, well, this gate, it's got to stay open long enough for cars to pass. It's not a pedestrian gate. We tried to develop our understanding of what we were dealing with. We're like, okay, like what are we going to fucking do? So he's like, Leo's super smart too. So he's just like trying to figure it out and stuff. And eventually I'm like, dude, come sit in the van. Like we got the heat on. It's starting to get cold out, starting to need to take a piss. And I'm like, this is like, I don't know what's going down, man.
Might be spending the night here.
What are we doing? Right. but you can walk out, but it, doesn't really help when your cars are stuck in there. And I was just starting to get pissed. I was like, do they really want like randos, in their property, locked in their property at night? Like, that's the last thing I would want. If I was the manager of a small fishing area, I'd be like, everyone leave always, forever. Like, so we're just like ranting and pissed, whatever. And I'm like, see if we can find the name of it. Because if we can find the name of it, you can look up stuff about the product,
Yeah.
We're living in the information age. We can find stuff about like what's going on. So we start Googling and we like find the brand and we like look it up. And then we start looking up like key phrases like emergency shut off, like the thing, emergency shut off, the thing,
Open after open after close.
Right? And I don't know what Leo found out because we were both just on our phones, like kind of like furiously looking for information. And then he just like looks at me. He's like, try going a little closer to it, like really close. And I'm like, say less, go really close to it, like within 6 inches.
You guys didn't even pull up to it yet.
We pulled up to it.
Not close
we pulled
enough.
up to it. But no, you had to get
not close enough.
within a foot. Probably the 6 inches, within a foot. So we get within a foot and it's just beep, beep, beep. Starts fucking going. We're like, damn it, dude. Damn it. And I was like, thank God. See you later, Leo. Let's hang out again soon. Just leave.
That's insane. It's so great.
Oh my God. It was so stressful. I thought we were going to be stuck. And then like he lives like pretty deep. So I was like, I'm going to have to drive him home and then like have to like do something weird to like get this. Oh, but we were all good. We got out.
Great, man.
We were home safe. But he was cool the whole time. And I was like, dude, this is like stressful as fuck. But you could tell all the things he's been going through. He's like, what you going to do, life?
Yeah.
Keep me in a fishing spot?
Like, oh,
like,
no.
Whatever. Like, it's all
gotta
good.
hang out with my friend longer.
Right.
Oh, no.
Dude, amazing. So we got
cool.
out safe.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Damn. All right, let's see how long we've been going. We've been going crazy. It's 11:18.
Let's go. When do we start?
It's 11:18. Like 9:18.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, guys. Well, it was wonderful talking to you about many things, including Chad Muska and the Glassmaster Classic. Thank you all for tuning in. Nick, do you have anything to leave them on?
Love you, bros.
Stay corny.